Beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you. First of all, I just want to say, I want to extend my thanks to you right here, right now, for being in this place, for being in this space, for creating time in your life to be here and to receive. And not simply to receive, but to be here and to co create, because that's what we're doing in this space when we come together here. It is a space, it is a cauldron of co-creation. No matter if we're not here in person together, we are here energetically connected through vision, through um, through intention, through prayer, and through the internet. So hallelujah. Thanks to the internet, we are able to do this and many, many other things. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you again for being here. So I want to welcome everybody first as you're coming in to just go ahead and drop a word in the chat. This is where you get to co-create. Go ahead and just drop a word. What's present for you? What are you experiencing right now? What are you feeling right now? Oh, thank you, Juliana. Thanks for being here. Oh, thanks everybody. Expansion, gracious, gratitude, bliss, stillness, growth. Yeah, I'm feeling an upwelling. That's what I'm feeling. Transformation, spaciousness. Yeah, I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling a whole lot of energy moving as usual through these Zooms, but particularly today. And it feels a little bit different than it has in the past. Eclipse energy, like maybe it's possible. Beautiful. Okay. So thank you for sharing this. And I also want to say, I want to welcome any of our guests here. So if you're a guest, if you were invited into the Zoom and you're kind of like, well, I came here, like, I don't really know exactly what's happening, but someone invited me, just go ahead and pop a 1 in the comments, because I want to personally welcome. Oh, yay. Okay. So I just want to personally extend my welcome and my thanks to you for being here, because somebody in this community thinks very highly of you, appreciates you, sees you, recognizes you, and has great love for you, and chose to invite you into the space today to meet us, to hear about what we're doing, who we are, what we're up to, the energy that we're holding in this space, the intention that we have as a community and as individuals. And so today, well, my name is Sarah, for those of you who I'm just meeting, and we are going to be sharing a really beautiful, powerful deep dive into, as I said, who we are as a community, the frequency family, what we're doing, what we are connected with, and about our upcoming 44 days to freedom training that's starting this coming Monday, which is likely why you're here, to find out more about that. So before I go into the next phase, I also want to just ask you guys, like, what does that word freedom mean to you? Just let us know in the comments. And I'm bringing this in today, especially with, sometimes I get emotional on these calls. Thank you for witnessing me. But just this, like, with acknowledgement and reverence to the experience that we are in as a collective humanity on the earth at this time. And there's so much moving. And what I feel personally when I tune into what's happening here on the planet is that we are really entering a birth portal. And this birth portal is this expression of contraction and expansion, and contraction and expansion. And we're seeing it, right? How many of you guys have felt in the past few days or the past few weeks or the past few months, like this experience of like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on, like, externally, internally, in relationship, in like the world forum, all the things that are happening externally and internally. And we're in this dance all the time between the external experience and what we're being bombarded with, what we're being exposed to, what our human family is experiencing. And then we move into the internal and how we relate to that, and how we move through that, and how we deal with that, and how we process that, and how we express that, and how we expand that into service, into love, into moving energy forward in a time when there's tremendous stagnancy and intensity. And so not to like bring it into like, woo, like the intensity right away. And, that's why we're here. That is who we are. So just to introduce you to us, to our frequency family, like we are a community and a collective that is here with the vision and the intention to support individuals to bring to the surface and express our true gifts. You hold medicine that is necessary on the planet right now. And we happen to live in a world that is very much encoded right now with homogenization, with conformity, with like pulling everybody to the center, and at the same time polarization, division, right? And all of these different things. And this is not a new story. This is thousands and thousands of years old, that humans have been like, infiltrated, let's just say, by external programs, by external desires, by external agendas, right? And so who we are is a community that is really here to support the internal, personal self-expression of the essence of each and every one of us. So if that's like something that you are feeling like, whoa, that's speaking to me, like I can feel that, like I can, I'm excited about that, just let us know in the comments, like what does that bring up for you? Like where are you in this process? Is that something that, yeah, power to the people. Right. And really, like, we're needed if we're going to create this beautiful world that is possible. We've got to get into the knowing of who we are first and foremost, so that we can bring through what is different, what is yet to be experienced, that we can bring in what is needed right now. So how do we do this? So, and I'm glad to see that you guys are, as I said earlier, like it's been an emotional experience for me personally as well. Everything, the past few days, past few weeks, like it's moving through me. And I know that you're here because it's moving through you too. So what are the ways that we do this, like in this community? So how do we do this? So the first piece that we work with is this. This is the foundation. This is called the Healy if you're brand new here. And this is my experience and my relationship with this. It's a quantum frequency technology. It's future forward. It has come in to this time and place to support humanity to walk through this portal, to walk through this doorway, to birth through this canal, maintaining our humanity, maintaining our humanness, maintaining it is 100% in service to everything that I just shared of it. Well, let me just say, like, what it does on a structural level is it scans and analyzes your energetic field, and it identifies you in your original blueprint, your soul source essence, your, like, who you are at your core. And then it scans and identifies everything that you're carrying that is not you. All of the programs, all of the traumas, all of the even the environmental things that you're exposed to in this lifetime, all of the intergenerational things, all the inherited patterns. That is what Healy works with. It works to unwind and to release and to reconnect us and to expand out our own personal energy field so that we are less vulnerable to the energetics and agendas that are externally wanting to come in. So checking in with all of you again, what do you feel as I'm saying this? Like, what comes through for you as your soul truth? Like, what is something that you feel inside of you that you desire to express? Something that you feel a longing for, something that you feel is your medicine, that maybe you haven't had the spaciousness or the ability to fully access that, but you know you want to bring that through in this time. What, like, who are you? What is it that you're here to give in this world? And if that feels like a big question, just type in what you love, because that's the answer. What is it that you love? That is your medicine. That is your gift. So what is it that you love? So Healy is the very first foundational piece that we use, right? And this is what we are here to bring out into the world, to the people who are seeking it, to the people who are praying for that, to the people who are desiring some concrete support, nervous system support, all the like physical support, all the different levels, support through this time specifically. So that's the Healy. And if you have a Healy, what has been your experience with it? What has been your experience? Like, what are the things that Healy has done for you? Like, what are the ways that using this support system has shifted the landscape for you personally? I love to hear the stories about this. I've had, helping women conceive more cosmic babies. I love it. Okay, so nervous system regulation, confidence, sitting around the fire with women, beautiful, lots of shadow work, healing on every level, physical, mental, emotional, amazing. So the comments are just like pouring through. So the second piece that we use, that we weave into our space here to support the stabilizing and the connectivity and this real uprising of self-expression at its core is community. So you can look around, and we usually have we've got 154 people on the Zoom. Last week or Monday we had like 200. At times we've had like we fluctuate sometimes up to 800 people come to these Zooms when we're in a process. And this is a community-based business space. This is a space where we come together to support each other to move in a common direction. And when I say common direction, I mean each of us is here for our own individual views, visions, like our own dreams, our own prayers, our own desires, our own medicine. And we're also here as a collective. So I'm curious, like, how many of you guys are solopreneurs, have been if you're solopreneurs, you're out there like in the wilderness, you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, and you feel at some point like, gosh, like it's just me. I'm here doing it all. And whether I want to be or not, whether I'm like, whether I'm like resourced in the moment or not, we are cyclical beings. We all have our moments when we're on and when we're not. And one of the most powerful things, Ariel said 2 businesses she's like that in, that one of the most powerful things about working with community is, number one, we're always co-regulating with each other. So if one of us is having like, we're often conversations like, oh, I'm going through this, that like we get to support each other and uplift each other through the moments when we need it, right? That's a treasure, because in traditional business, linear business models, like solopreneur, if you want to get support from somebody, you hire a coach and you pay them. In this space, all of that is part of the landscape, right? That we're here, we're uplifting each other, we're sharing resources. We have also incredible people who are here, and Fernanda's going to speak in a minute. She might speak to this, but like this community is populated with people who have already walked the path, and who then can reach back and say, I'll show you how. Right. And that is part of the magic and the beauty of working in a space that is not simply a solopreneur space, or like, I'm an employee and I have a boss, and my boss comes in and tells me, do this, do that, do this, do that. And if I don't do it, then I lose my job. This is a completely different energy. There's nobody in this space that's ever going to tell you, you need to do this, you need to do that. You're always a member of this community, and you can always come in and out at will. And for those of you who are here because, we're all sitting at the table, for the people who are here because, you really have a desire to change the financial trajectory to create an online income, to layer in an additional income stream that is leveraged, that is not dollar for hour, that is not directly 100% tied to your time and to your energy. If you're here because you have a desire to expand time, to invest your time, and to create an income stream that can pay you in time, if that's something that you're here for, just let me know type of 3, because I'm curious, like everyone's here for different reasons. But if that's something that you're here for, that is the third piece. That is like the third kind of layer in the cake that we're making here. Which is wealth, which is building wealth, which is building generational wealth, which is building wealth in such a way that is not, like I said, it is not directly and forever connected to your input. And this is what I love. I mean, I love all of it. And like, I've been in this space of network marketing and community-based business for 10 years. And this business model has supported me to leave the country, to move down to South America, where I'm at right now, in Montevideo. It's supported me to educate my own children, to make choices about how my family is being on the earth, like to really, as a like to create a business that supports me to be a full-time mother of 4, and to be able to create income at the same time. And not only that, and this is what I really like want to kind of close it off with before I pass the mic. And at the end of the Zoom, I am going to be detailing out what the 44 days is, how it works, what's all included, and how you can connect in with that. But one of the things that I want to speak to that has just, for me, it's like the real part that I just feel like so deeply grateful for, is that within this model, we only receive income when we support people to thrive. We only receive income when we are helping people receive Healys. We only receive income when we are supporting people in our community to rise. There's no way that you can come into this space and just like like have a great resume and like get a raise above somebody else who, it is 100% based on, like, the equal sign is between the income and the impact. And the impact that means the most to me in many ways is watching and witnessing and supporting other people to create financial transformations in their lives. And we're going to hear from a few of them today. But I'm just, before I pass the mic to Fernanda, I forgot to ask you guys to share a little bit about what has the community been for you? Like, what is that experience for you? And what has the wealth creation been? Like, what has the training been? What has the business side been? So if you have shares and inspiration, found a family. Oh, yeah. Like, just, this is a space, again, of co-creation, of sharing, like, what it is that's on our heart, what it is that is, I feel like I never have to hire another business coach. That's something that I've actually heard often, and we're going to get into that a bit later. And so I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic. We're going to hear from 3, possibly 4, depending on how the timing goes, incredible women who have been part of this community for quite some time, and who have beautiful, just beautiful things to share. So Fernanda is a dear, dear friend of mine. She's a medicine woman. She is really been here with me since the beginning. And she is just a wise woman. Not only that, but she has completely transformed her financial reality while staying so true to her soul work here. So, Miss Fernanda.
Hello. I'm unmuted. Yeah, you can hear me? Super happy to be here. I started my bleed today. So before I begin to speak, I just want to drop in with all of you. And we're going to do a tiny little 30-second exercise here. And it's going to take us somewhere. So just rub your hands, make them really, really warm as you possibly can, and place them somewhere on your body, anywhere. I'm going to place mine on my womb. And once you do that, just close your eyes and think about that one thing you desire. You probably desire many things, but think about one thing you are calling in and desiring right now. and let the feelings come. You might feel anxiety and frustration that you don't have that thing. You might feel a sense of overwhelm. Just explore the feelings that come. Think about that one thing. Maybe it's has to do with love. Maybe it has to do with your family life. Maybe it has to do with wealth, business. What is that one thing? And just be there for about 5 seconds, breathing. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And let the feelings come. Now open your eyes and look at the screen. Okay. The reason why I took us there is because all of us are desiring something. All of us. We're always desiring. But when we close our eyes and when we imagine that one golden orb of whatever our desire is, it's so easy to see that it feels really far away. There's frustration that comes up. There's anxiety that comes up. There's this like, it's not for me feeling that comes up, that always will come up. And we are here to retrain ourselves so that when we think about what we desire, we feel joy, we feel excitement, we feel love, and like this bubbling up of confidence, like it's right there, it's for me, it's waiting for me, right? And that sense of confidence is an art that we cultivate over time. It's a ritual practice. There's so much that comes up when we do that. And I'm here to share with you just shortly, because we only have a limited amount of time, how I walked myself from that feeling of anxiety every time I would think about my desires to a sense of, I got it. It's mine. It's right there. I'm just walking to it. No problem. Right? Of course, Healy had everything to do with it because it's a reprogramming of your frequency at its core. But then, we're magical beings. We're about to enter a solar eclipse on the 14th and a new moon. A solar eclipse is like a supercharged new moon. So on the same day that we have a new moon, we have a solar eclipse, which is a supercharged new moon. And what does that mean? These are portals for new beginnings. I love that I just started my bleed because I'm in like full release mode, preparing for this portal of new beginnings. And October is a month of new beginnings. It's according to the witch's calendar, it is when the new year starts, because we start in the darkness. We start in the belly of the mother, where the seeds are planted and new beginnings get to shoot up and take off. The winter time is a time for cultivation of the spring energy that will take us into summer, right? And so we're walking into this portal of new beginnings. And it's a perfect time to implement and practice here what took me a year to figure out. And I got my Healy in February of last year. I started using it and immediately was like, oh my gosh, I feel vital. I feel alive. What is this? Where has this energy been? The only time this has ever happened to me was when I began taking Chinese herbs when I was postpartum. I was like, oh my gosh, there's my energy again. So the Healy is amazing in that sense. But I was also recently separated, not even divorced. So I wasn't getting alimony or anything like that, just a meager like $500 child support sum every month. And I was at home with 3 children, trying to figure out how to share myself online, how to navigate social media and all these things to start to share, because I knew that I did not want to go back to a full-time job as an attorney. That's what I had studied and what I had, I had passed the bar and all these things. Like I didn't want to go back to being a lawyer. So I'm like, okay, what do I do? And that's when I got a message from Sarah asking me if I knew about quantum healing. And it's so interesting because of course I'm a mother that likes to explore taking care of her children on her own and not necessarily outsourcing. And so immediately I was like, get me that Healy. I want that thing. I didn't even know it was a business. But I started to explore it as a business because I couldn't not after using it. And my life has radically changed. And I do want to say that it's like a waterfall, once you throw a stone into the water and you see the ripple, that next goes the foot, and then then you're fully in. Then you're swimming and then you become a mermaid. Like, I'm serious. It's all one thing leads to the next, that leads to the next, that leads to the next. And I began with Healing in Hand, traveling the world. I went on retreats for myself. I had not even thought to do that. I had not thought to leave my identity of motherhood behind, and having a tool that allowed me to explore my multidimensionality, that allowed me to step in and to repattern really the way that I was moving in the world with grace and ease and flow, was one of the most powerful things that I could have done for myself at that place where I was just learning to become more powerful in the world, to throw that stone in the water and have that beautiful ripple effect. And so I guess what I'm here to say is that we can begin to change. We can begin to repattern, but it's one thing to, walk a straight line to go from point A to point B. And of course, the shortest distance from one place to another is a line. Or we can link hands and do it in community, which allows for us to grow much more quickly. It's actually interesting because the turtle always beats the hare, right? The turtle always beats the hare. Why? Because if you think about a spider web is made of tiny little lines. Like a spider will go from point A to point B, but what it's really creating is a circular concentric space. And each one of those straight lines, when it bends down on it, has a curve. It's full of circles and curves. And when you create within a container like that with community, you are allowing yourself to become not just one little straight line, but a full web that moves together, that catches prey together, that is resourceful, that can fix where there's a strand broken, that can move entirely if it needs to. And so I learned to leave the struggle behind, to leave the straight line behind, and to create webs and to create curves and to create circles. And when I realized that that's what this business model was allowing me to do, my desire to be of service was like, oh my gosh, now I have a platform, because we're all here to be of service. So there's a lot more that I can share. I want to kind of keep it short and sweet, but in the last 6 months, I've made over 6 figures in this business. I worked really hard. It wasn't just like a manifestation that it happens. I'm working hard. I'm taking this seriously. I'm taking this is my business here, and I'm creating it as I go. But I realized this yesterday, and I made a post about it. In Spanish, the word creo, create, actually means I believe, and it means I create. It comes from the Latin word creare, which means to take something, to take nothing into something. And I love that both I believe and I create have the same word, because I have been able to see this amazing tool and this community, not just as something that allows me to have confidence, but in this deep belief that we're all anchoring here together and we're all creating something together. We're all creating this beautiful container together. And on Monday, which actually I don't know what day the 14th is, the super moon,
Saturday.
super day. Okay.
Saturday.
Well, anyways, on the Saturday. Okay. Well, on Monday, we start this 44-day container, which is the perfect circle. Circles are where energy is heightened to come in and have a new beginning, to do that quantum leap. You'll hear people talking about the eclipse and the quantum leaps. This is literally what I did in the last year. It was a huge quantum leap, because I saw the power in this, and I leapt into it with full belief and a full desire to create. And I'm really hopeful and excited to have more of you beauties do the same. We can go from being tired, struggling mothers to life forces that are able to truly be of service. So a lot more I can share, but I'll leave it at that. Mwah.
Thank you so much, Fernanda. That was amazing. Takeaways in the comments, like if anything that Fernanda shared, or if many things that Fernanda shared touched you in some way, please share them. Gracias, Fernanda. And we're going to bring another mother to the microphone here. She is, and one of the things I want to say that's so beautiful about this space is the diversity. It's the diversity in desires. It's the diversity in dreams. It's like the diversity in experiences. I mean, we're hearing from Fernanda, who's an attorney and like, you know, medicine woman. And next we're going to hear from an incredible woman who is a, like, I mean, where do I even start? She's a very high-powered businesswoman. She has come from a background of building and selling businesses. She's come from a background of network marketing. She's come from, you know, and she's heading into a beautiful place of full 100% financial freedom. And so, and she's also been a part of this community for quite some time and is like just such an amazing resource. So Anna, come on to the mic.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm so grateful to be here. I arrived literally sweat dripping down my body. I just finished. I messaged Sarah. I'm like, I need to get my workout in so that I feel fully energized as I enter this beautiful portal here. So thank you so much for having me. So Healy dropped into my awareness literally in the worst possible time. We were in the process of selling our product-based company, and my mind was really, really focused on a successful exit of a business that I had been growing for 6 years with a business partner. But it kept showing up. It kept showing up. And first I was approached to really look at the product as a biohacking tool. And that just didn't do it for me. I didn't have that sacral hit when I was approached in that way. And then another woman approached me and she said, I have to get you on a call with Sarah Bliss. And I started creeping her on Instagram and I said, there's something here. Her and I are very different energies, but so complementary. And what I realized on my first Zoom call with Sarah, which was over a year ago, is that building product-based business, building coaching and mentorship businesses, what I was missing and what I was lacking was the community. And so Fernanda beautifully, and Fernanda, I love you so much. I miss our consistent talks. Let's bring those back. What I was really missing was leveraged community-based business building, because these industries of product-based and these industries of coaching and mentorship space, they really are solopreneurship. They really are lone wolfing, which we've kind of coined in this community. And so building generational wealth for our families, for our lineages, for the future generations, and doing it through community, knowing that this wealth gets to be cycled through, it gets to be supportive. I have massive goosebumps, and it's really hot in Mexico. It gets to be brought into co-creation, collaboration together is such a beautiful thing. And so then I put my business hat on and I said, what is the opportunity here? And really what the opportunity with Healy was 1 year ago is exactly the same opportunity it is for you here in this space with us right now. There are no coincidences. We are in a ground level opportunity, bringing a quantum technology that has been created by a quantum physicist who bridges spirituality and science. And what we have here is a device that is supporting humanity, that is bringing us into coherence, and we get to create that wealth in community, leveraging it. And so what I mean by that is we were just in a 1-year celebration in Toronto, Canada. There was 100 people in the room. And so what I could envision was the stadiums of us incredible humans who are all aligned around Healy together over the next 5 to 10 years, those massive conferences, those massive conventions where 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 people unite. But right now, we are the pioneers. We're the ones that have really caught this vision and are bringing it forth to reality. So this is what I call a ground level opportunity. Is Healy is still so small. We're just getting started around the world. So that was Canada. And then you layer in Mexico. The Mexican market just opened in April. Brand new market. Korea just opened. Colombia is going to open next. And so if you're an entrepreneur mind and that's how you evaluate opportunities very similarly to me, wow, we are here really plugged into something that is next level, that truly is quantum. And so I am so excited for every single one of you here. So ground level opportunity, pioneers coming together and really rallying around this vision of raising the frequency within ourselves and we all know as we do that for ourselves, we naturally impact others. And so we're really contributing to a more beautiful, holistic, peaceful, happy home. And then that then translates to the rest of the world. So I'm so excited. Welcome. And I can't wait to see all of you in this 44-day business incubator. If you choose to say yes, 44 days is going to go by really quickly. And the amount of support and mentorship and guidance and community that you get to plug into, these containers would cost thousands and thousands of dollars in the coaching world. So welcome to everyone who's feeling the sacral or whatever your authority is pull. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you so much, Anna. That was like, whew, that was magnetic and powerful and clear and just, you know, there's like, as Anna said, you know, there's so many different ways to look at something. There's so many different facets that are happening at the same time, right? And so we have all the facets here. This truly is a multidimensional space. So go ahead and share anything that and we're getting the comments already. What struck a chord for you? What lit up for you? I can just say personally that like in my network marketing career, which is 10 years now almost, like when I very first started hearing about network marketing, I was like, oh, you know, like someone was trying to tell me about a product and I was like, oh, I'm not really like into that. But then it was a moment in my life when I had made a decision that I was going to change the financial trajectory for me that actually brought me back around to that original product that I was working with. And so it's different, like everyone's here for a different reason and different things will speak to you in different ways. And yes, and for me, exactly, Amanda, like that word pioneer is what stands out. Like we're here to pioneer a solution that is created for this moment, that is important, not just for us, but for a greater community. And so if you're here and you're excited to be a pioneer and that like sparks something for you, just write pioneer in the comments while I call up our next beautiful wisdom share. She is a rites of passage leads rites of passage. I don't know, a rites of passage leader. She's another incredible human who is here to support transformation in her own right, and then has plugged into Healy to support transformation in a bigger way on multiple levels. So Mandolin, darling.
Hi. Wow, just soaking in the shares from Sarah, Fernanda, Anna. Thank you so much. Just really, these calls allow me to drop so deeply into what we're truly doing here, like the heart of what we're truly doing here. And I just want to share my story and my journey and make it super to the point where a year ago from today was a month before I purchased my Healy. And I was working full-time as a plant nursery manager, trying to support my rite of passage business, I guess you would say. And I could barely put food on the table and was grocery shopping at Walmart as a guide, as someone who's deeply connected to the earth and actually didn't have the means to get by. And it was a beautiful moment because in those depths, it cracked me open into a whole new reality. And if you're in this place right now where you're like, I need a shift, this was my moment. And I had to get to that breaking point to choose a completely new way. Because I knew in that moment that I can no longer work and have my bleed, my grief, my rest, my living impact my income. I could no longer not exist in my wild state as a bleeding, menstruating, wild woman and have that way of being impact my ability to actually make money. And I knew that in my community and in the collective, we were all experiencing this. So many people were like, we need a new way. And when Healy came into my life, it was scary. It was new. And I will say that just the device by itself allowed me to shift from being in that contracted, scarce place in my body and slowly open me up to a new reality of expansion. And then came in the financial reality where now I'm fully leaning into Healy and making 3 times the amount that I made by working as a full-time plant nursery manager, working 40 to 60 hours a week. And I get to actually live. I get to bleed and rest when I need to. I get to actually be in my human wild body and exist without my existence impacting my level of income. If anything, now my existence creates even more income. And so I just want to hold that vision for you, if you're in this space, to know that infinite possibility exists here. And it happened for me. I mean, my life from today, a year ago, is night and day different. And I truly, truly think it's from this community, from the frequency shifts that we get to have from this quantum life-changing device, and from the leverage that exists in this community to not just create income from the binary, to actually create even more. And there's space for infinite growth. And I believe that in this space, we are creating something that is completely different. And I really encourage, if you're here today, to lean into a new way being possible for you, because I didn't know that it was. And now that I'm here, I'm fully in and fully devoted to what we're creating here. And the 44 days, last February, we did an 88-day container. And that training from Sarah, from all the others that were a part of that training, completely shifted my financial reality from the ground up. And I was able to travel to Portugal fully paid. I was able to just pour into my retreats and not have my retreats mean that I'm able to pay my bills. It's just from overflow. And it's really such a generous place to be in and to exist in. And so I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful for everyone who's tuning in with us today. And thank you so much, Sarah. Thank you to everyone else.
Thank you so much, Mandolin. And so if anything that Mandolin shared, I saw some comments. If anything Mandolin shared like touched you, share, please share. And you know, I mean, again, like we can see like the range, right? The range of experiences, like why people come into this space. You know, Mandolin came in because she was totally like at the bottom needing to start and rise. Anna came in like from like she's like, I'm selling my like business, I'm about to, you know, because she wants to create more, right? Like to be able to create more impact, to touch more lives. So really wherever you're at, it's the perfect place. You're right at the perfect place to begin here. There's no specific slot that you need to fit in with. This is a very wide open space for diversity of experiences to come in. And so we're going to hear one more really quick share before I drop into the details about the 44 days. And this is another mama. And she's traveling right now with her family and her Healy. And Rach, go ahead and share with us a little bit, just quick little. I think you're going to share about your essence coming through, yeah? Visibility.
I'm so good at quick shares, aren't I? Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm coming to y'all from the ocean right now. I'm usually up in the Smoky Mountains, but the ocean is where my soul, my family's soul really yearns to be. Baby daddy is a big wave surfer. So being here right now, we're here for 2 weeks, just relaxing and, you know, practicing, feeling with every sense in that I have at my fingertips, you know, to what it feels like to be living by the ocean with my little 17-month baby. He loves the water. It's so powerful to see him here. And I have just dreamed for my whole life of a way to live this adventure life, to go where the earth calls me, to be able to wake up and move upon this earth, and also get paid. And when I got pregnant, by big surprise, I experienced that dream fall away. You know, I felt, because I believed what the overculture had to say, was that I needed to settle down and I needed to provide for my family. That didn't last long. I didn't stay in that place too long. And I started dreaming, you know, I got super still. For anyone that's been pregnant, you know. And while I fully believed that that life was meant for me, my reality was not that. My reality during my pregnancy was so horrifying. So scary. It wasn't horrifying. I felt like it was horrifying. And then the Healy dropped into my world just like that 1 month before I had my baby. And then when I finally got my baby, I actually went through quite a traumatic birth experience. Or when I finally got my Healy, I had just gone through a traumatic birth experience, which had to do with all sorts of things I won't get into today. But when I got this Healy and started using it every day, I felt all the contraction, just everything that told me my hopes and dreams, that I wasn't worthy of them, or I wasn't capable of creating them. I wasn't smart enough, creative enough, whatever it was. When I started using this Healy every day, it all just became possible. And here I am 16 months later, traveling with my family without having to fear, you know. I'm not all the way there yet, you know. I'm not I'm not Sarah living in Uruguay yet, but that's my vision. And this feels like where I am today in Florida with my family, feels like a huge stepping stone to just be here and be calm and be peaceful. So that's what's possible here in this space. That's what's possible when you commit. I've shown up every single day. I've showed up to every call. If you go back and look at my Instagram a year ago, I was not where I was now. It's been a huge learning process. And someone reached out to me just yesterday being like, oh, I'm really inspired by your da-da-da on your Instagram. And I was like, really? Because a year ago, I thought I would never be good at this. I thought I would never be good at this. And I am. So I know that everyone here in this space can be too. And I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you so much, Rachel. And I want everyone to go check out Rachel's Instagram. And so, Rachel, you are such an inspiration in the way that you show up. And also, this is one of the things, so I'm going to kind of bridge into the 44 days here, which is that one of the things that unifies all of the elements that we're working with in this community is the training. So how many of you guys have ever purchased an online business training in the past, or hired a coach, or paid money to get trained? And you know, and like, yeah, just share about that. Like, did you buy a program? Did you hire a coach? Did you get into like a subscription thing? Like, what did you do? All of the above. Okay. And okay, $4,000 in a business training for thousands and thousands. Okay. So here's the thing, that this is what fundamentally makes what we do different. One of the elements is that when you purchase your Healy, you can do whatever you want with it. You can use it for yourself. You can come in and like get it paid back, like by sharing a few, or you can create like an entirely new high caliber location independent income stream. It's up to you, right? It's whatever feels best to you. It's all available here. But when you purchase your Healy, you walk into the door of an ecosystem of training that has been set up, it's a proven systems, one of which is actually a whole social media training that we did last month. And Rachel is someone who is an example. Like if you want to see visually what happens when people go through this process, you can look at Rachel's Instagram and you can witness the transformation that she's had in her visibility, in her ability to move energy, in her messaging, in her like showing up, and obviously in her income as well, simply from going through the training that we offer within this community. And this is something that is different in like, you know, there's lots and lots of different companies and like products and all the things out there, and lots of people purchase things to create an income stream. One of the differences, what is unique about this space, is that you get exceptionally high quality training here, exceptionally high quality. And so the 44 days is a piece of this. Everything that we've done in the past is all available, but the 44 days is essentially, it is the first 6 weeks of your business. So if you're here and you're about to purchase your Healy, or if you already have a Healy and you want to go through the launching of your business again, the 44 days is this, it's structured to support you in a very step-by-step way to know exactly what to do and exactly how to do it, so that you can come in either with your brand new Healy and go through the fast start. The fast start basically means that you can, if you sell 4 Heelys by the end of your first month, you've paid back your entire investment into your business. Your Healy is paid up, your Healy is paid back. You're all, you know, like how many of you guys have ever started? I know personally, when I started my massage business after I had gone through college and paid all that money to go through college, then I went to massage training and I paid, you know, probably $30,000-$40,000 to do all that training. And then on the other side of it, you know, to start doing massage to pay back that training took me years, right? So in what business can you like literally purchase your product that you're using for yourself, and then it's so, you know, you can so quickly get into the green and pay all of your expenses. So if any of you guys have like, all of you who have already paid off your Healy and or done faster, and or, you know, like if that's you, if you've already done that, let us know, because it's not necessarily like Fernanda said, it's not like, oh, you just buy your Healy and it's like it's so easy. However, it is simple. And that is what we do here, is we simplify the process. So this is what the 44 days is. It starts on this coming Monday. We will be doing a visioning, like a deep dive visioning process on Monday to get you really into that felt sense of like, what are you here to experience? What do you desire to create? It's going to be different for every single person. And then on Thursday, we're going to start with the step-by-step training. So Mondays are going to be stories and shares, places that you can invite guests. And Thursdays are going to be, oh yeah, and you also get to earn free Heelys too. I forgot to say that. So Heely's so generous. Like the thing that I hear most often on like the 4th Monday of the month is like, where did all this money come from? Like, why am I getting like, how did I get like this huge check? What is this coming from? Or like, how come all these Heelys are arriving at my house? Because Heely is extremely generous in the way that in the reciprocity element of how we are supported financially to be a part of this process. So, so if you are, how many of you guys are excited about the 44 days? How many of you are feeling like, okay, yeah, like structure? How many of you don't really like structures? I can say that in my like entry, you know, over the years, I was the person 10 years ago who had like you know, I was doing tons of calls, like starting my business, launching my business, and I didn't use a calendar, you guys. I had sticky notes. I was so unorganized. I was a mess. I was a total mess. And yet, like over the years, you know, I've really come to love how powerful it is to have clear, clean structures, because when we know exactly what to do and there's accountability, and of course, the accountability does not look like anyone telling you need to do something. It's supportive accountability, but it's your role to step in and say, okay, I'm going to like I'm gonna like take the role of like holding myself accountable to do these things, even though I don't have a boss who's telling me that I'm not, you know, like that this is part of the process, is really stepping into that space of ownership, of self-actualization. And that's a big piece of this self-expression part as well. So we're going to have you know, all the PDFs, you're going to have this, it's all going to be in Kajabi, like we're upgrading. But one of the things that's so powerful about structures is that when you know exactly what to do and how to do it, you still have to practice. It's not like you just learn how to do it and you're automatically great at it, but you can relax. You can relax into saying, okay, I have this tracker sheet, like I'm going to use it, right? Instead of saying, what should I be doing? I'm just going to scroll on Instagram, right? So we have very supportive structures. There's also beautiful community spaces. There's so much connectivity. And, you know, there is really and truly a powerful convergence of elements in this space that are here to support you, should you desire to create a powerful income stream in your life. So we begin Monday. Whoever invited you here, it's because they would love to be connected with you in this process. They want to work with you. They see you, they love you, they honor you, they appreciate you. And I want to invite you to go ahead and reach back to that person that invited you here and let them know what resonated for you, what questions you have, any other information that you need. Like, we're here to give it all to you, to lay it all out on the table. And yeah, and to support you to come into the community if that's something that feels resonant. And what I can say, you know, from my personal experience, well, two things. One is that I came into Healy, I didn't need to be making more money necessarily. Like, I wasn't like, oh, like I'd already done this. I'd already created a big business. I already had residual income, but I came here because I got tapped. I got tapped by Healy. I got tapped by this experience, by the desire, like this, like the whole big picture brought me back out of retirement into the space of saying, okay, like I'm being requested to stand up in this space. And so I want to invite you to ask yourself, are you being requested? Because chances are you are. And that as we're seeing in like the trajectory that our human community is on right now, if there's one thing that I could do to shift the landscape, it would be to have more people who are more deeply resourced, more deeply connected to themselves, with more financial freedom, time freedom, with all the things, with a concrete way to be able to move energy towards the direction that we desire to go. Because there is a lot coming down the pipeline. There's going to be a lot more big shakeups. This is just the beginning. And there has never been a more powerful and more important time to set ourselves up with the tools that we personally need and to help other people receive those as well. So thank you. If you have any other takeaways to share in the comments, please do. You can follow all of our speakers, Rachel. My Instagram is Bliss Mother if you want to watch along with my journey of unschooling my kids in South America. And Fernanda, you can drop your Instagram as well. And Anna, Anna's is at Anna Lozano. And yeah, we're just here, you know, like focused. I'll say I'm here focused. And I know I'm not the only one in this community who's focused and also deeply, deeply grateful. So thank you again for being here, for spending your time in this space, for co-creating with us. And I really look forward to inviting you and meeting you and connecting with you and working with you starting Monday. Thank you all.